Hello, my name is Umilala Oshikoya. Welcome to Pocket Finance with Umilala. Pocket Finance with Umilala is essentially a web series where we're going to be talking about everything finance from a personal and business point of view. We're really going to be talking about wealth. What is true? What is the true meaning of wealth? How to create wealth? How to manage wealth? How to grow it and how to use it. We have a lot of things lined up, so stay tuned. So why Pocket Finance? Before I go into why Pocket Finance, let me first of all introduce myself. I'm first of all a wife and a mother. I'm also a UK certified life coach and a finance coach. I'm a talk show host. I have a blog. I write a column for the second most widely read newspaper in Nigeria. I'm an entrepreneur, co-author, and also a media and publication specialist. So yes, I wear many hats. Prior to this, I used to work as an investment banker for over 10 years, and I have a background in finance and accounting, and I left a very successful career in pursuit of fulfillment. So why Pocket Finance? As a young child, my grandfather was extremely wealthy, but when he passed away, the wealth diminished quickly. We found ourselves in a different situation than we were used to, and I didn't quite understand. But the reason was because it was a lack of financial discipline, lack of financial intelligence, and lack of financial planning. As a young child, I quickly came up with the assumption that in order not to find myself in that situation again, I had to work really hard. And so my journey with hard work started. I worked really hard. I worked in some of the best companies. I had a 9-to-5, yet I also had side hustles, such as I would supply corporate gifts, tunics. I was always doing all sorts of things. So I was making quite a lot of money at some point. But I thought, wow, I had arrived, so it was now time for me to finally enjoy. And so I started doing as I pleased. I was buying a lot of things. For me, hair was one of my weaknesses, so I would buy hair almost every month. And quickly I found myself always, I wasn't saving, I wasn't investing, I was making wrong financial decisions. Even though I had money to buy a particular asset that I wanted, I thought I was going to be smart and took loan from a bank instead. I found myself in debt. And I got to the point where I was like, you know what, this can't be my life. I can't be running in the same cycle month after month, living from paycheck to paycheck. So I began to self-reflect. And I began to look inwards, and I realized something needed to be done quickly. And thankfully, through divine intervention, I began to seek a lot of knowledge. After a while, I learned how to budget, I paid off my debt, and I started investing. And this sort of changed my mindset. And I realized that clearly, a lot of people might be going through some of these kind of challenges. So for me, Pocket Finance is not a hobby. I mean, when I left my career in investment banking, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. But I prayed about it, and doors started opening. I realized that there's a calling in this. So for our first episode, we're going to be talking about money. In a few minutes, I'm going to try to demystify this mystery called money. Let me start with a quote that I really like by Norman Vincent Peale. It says, "Empty pockets never held anyone back. Only empty heads and empty hearts can do that." This is very true. So what do you think money is? Is it the dollars you have in your account? Is it the naira that you're holding? Money is not paper currency. It has nothing to do with your bank account. If you even believe in the story of creation or even evolution, money is inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. In order for the world to have been created, money was not used. Money is man-made, and it is only a tool. Unfortunately, people do not understand what money is, and so they go pursuing money, and this causes things like corruption. However, if you understand the true meaning of money, I believe a lot of prevalent problems in society will be eradicated. So what is money? Let's look at the history of money. Way back, in order to gain something that you wanted, you had to use your skills and your energy. You had to work hard and work smart. So for instance, a hunter, if you had good hunting skills, you would catch a lot of game, and you have a lot of things to exchange. However, there came to a point where it was difficult to exchange. So I had 2 chickens, you had 5 goats. How were we going to exchange? How were we going to measure? So what they decided to do at the time was they decided to create money. And so we started off with like cowries, then gold. But then gold was too heavy to carry from one destination to the other. So they developed paper currency, which was essentially just a promissory note, which says, I promise to pay you this. You give a note, which is backed up by the amount of gold you have. After a couple of years, after time evolved again, they scrapped the gold, so it didn't matter what value you had. Then paper currency became money. However, just because you don't have money in your bank account does not mean you have money. Money is what you have, your talents. Why are people not using their talents or their skills or their energy anymore? Why are we all trying to look for money? So for me, what I want to tell you is that it doesn't matter if there's nothing in your bank account. You should be able to give, you have something of value that you can exchange. I can give you a very practical example before I round up. This web series should have started a year ago, but I was waiting for everything to be perfect. And eventually I was having a conversation with a friend of mine and I said, well, I wanted this, I wanted to do that and that. And she said, look, just start with what you have. And I said, gosh, the plans that I have, I'm going to need a lot of money. I'm not at that point yet. And she said, start with what you have. And I said to her, actually, there was a guy that sent me an email when I went to speak at a speaking engagement. And he said to me that he has a camera and he can record. I'm actually going to call him up and see if we can do something together. And today, this web series has started. So do not limit yourself. I hope you would go and you would try and do something about your situation and not be limited by the money you have. And just before I go, let me leave you with this quote by Jim Rohn. It says, money is usually attracted and not pursued. I hope you've learned a lot. Until next episode, stay blessed. Thank you.